what happens when you mix a nonprofit organization with a high school aerospace engineering program? Well, you get kids who love airplanes. In the Hangar. Hello, I'm Dan Milliken, and this is In the Hangar, sponsored by Wingfield Aviation. We've got a great show today. We've got some young people and some almost young people, and they are from the Granbury High School, and this is amazing. This is an aerospace engineering program in a high school. So with us today, I'll start with Mark Kirk, Captain Kirk. We've got Hunter, we've got Cash, and we've got Mark Zimmerman back.
Here we are.
And always good to see you, Mark. So what is this program we're talking about? Why don't we start here with Captain Kirk?
Well, fortunate opportunity to be able to teach aerospace engineering at the high school level. And we were fortunate also in Granbury to have a sponsor, Eagle's Nest Project, that provides us with a Vans RV-12 kit to build as a supplement to our curriculum. And so we spend a few days a week out in the shop with the students. I've got about 10 mentors that come in on a weekly basis to help teach the kids, to supervise them, quality control, just all around mentoring. They really do mentor our students to become hands-on, whether it's to lead them down the engineering path, an aviation path, an A&P direction, or whatever. But it's a great program, a great fit for our curriculum, and it's been a great experience for the past 4 years.
And you've got some pictures that show the program, and we'll take a look at those. But as we're looking at those, tell me about what this nonprofit Eagle's Nest is all about.
So really, more than anything, some of the beginnings of it with Ernie Butcher and a few other guys that developed a sense of wanting to be benevolent and helping students out, help bring younger generation into the aviation program. And so in their generosity, they provide for us this kit to be able to build with our program. And along with that, one of the slogans that Eagle's Nest incorporates is that mentors build a student and students build the airplane. And so we really have taken a vested interest in that ourselves as well with our mentors and students.
And it's a real airplane. It's something,
Absolutely.
and everybody puts their name on the side of it to help build it?
So all the mentors and the students have their names on the side of the airplane, yes, and we'll take it to air shows and fly-ins around not just the area. We've flown up to Oshkosh every summer.
Wow.
We've flown it over to Florida to Sun and Fun. And so it's we've got a lot of showing off to do due to their generosity.
Yeah. All right. Well, so Hunter, Cash, how did you guys? I mean, was this an elective? I mean, how did you get it to sign up for this?
Yeah. So it's an amazing experience, like Mr. Kirk said. What we do in our school, we have a technology-based course that we go on, and in those courses, one of the amazing opportunities we have is the aviation program. Not a lot of students can say that they've built a fully functioning aircraft in high school. So yeah, with that opportunity, it was definitely a choice, and I'm super glad that I got to take it.
Cash?
Same here. I'd just gotten into the engineering program and realized that I had an interest in getting into aviation. And I've always wanted to get up in there and just kind of fly ever since I was a little kid, and this program just kind of opened up that pathway for me. So.
You guys look like you play football too. A little bit, yeah. Are you guys? What are you planning to do, Cash? We'll start with you. Are you planning to get into aviation as a career, or are you just still kind of figure things out?
Yes, sir. I actually am. I'm planning on heading to Texas A&M University after high school and studying mechanical engineering or aerospace. I'm still trying to decide right now, but I'd like to go down that path. Yes, sir.
Hunter?
So I've actually already graduated. I did a semester up at Utah Valley University on a course for aviation science. I've come back and I've shown my face a little bit around, and I'll be going on a mission trip soon, so I have to put my aviation career kind of on hold for a little bit. But as soon as I get back, I'm looking to hit the ground running with my aviation career.
Are you gonna fly, or are you thinking more of a, A&P and or build or engineering?
Yeah, so I've had the great opportunity. The Eagle's Nest program has actually led me to work at the airport in Granbury, and I've been able to put my skills to use, so to speak, working with the mechanics and the avionics technicians there. So I'm looking to get my A&P certification once I get back to kind of work my way through college and help me pay for my flight school, and then hopefully get into the commercial airline business. So.
Wow, that's very cool. Mark Zimmerman, so you mentor these students. What's involved in that, and how did you get into that?
Well, the program came to Granbury High School, and I was approached to do this, and I thought, sure, why not? I was just retiring, and it's like, okay, put some structure back into your week. So here we go. Okay, I'm retired, so it's given me a non-paying job, but to watch the light bulb go off in these students' minds when they see this thing going together, and to watch the mentors interact with these students. I mean, the whole thing, just from the perspective that I see it, is all of these little projects going on, and the mentors interacting with the students and the student mentors. We've got students that are juniors that come back in their senior year as a teacher's aide, like Hunter did here, and actually take a mentor role to work with the students to build these various projects. And for instance, I'll let you explain the service bulletin that came out on the horizontal stabilator on the airplane, and you can kind of tell about that project that we had.
Yeah, so the service bulletin that came out was there were two brackets that I guess they weren't structurally sound, or that came back and they were having problems with them. I guess having fractures in them.
I believe that's correct. There was cracking along the skin or some area. This was after a long term, and I thought, yeah, this is probably an area that needs to be beefed up a little bit. So they come out with this service kit.
And yeah, so a buddy and I, he was a student mentor as well, and we got on it with the horizontal stabilizer, and we took out the old parts that needed to be switched out, and we beefed it up with a little bit of help from the mentors as usual, and it was a great experience to be able to kind of fix the old things on the plane.
Well, as we saw earlier, you guys are very, very hands-on, and you brought me some stuff to show and tell. What is all this?
Yeah, so these are the basic tools that we use every day in the shop. So we've got a drill right here. We've got we call it a dog leg. It's a deburring tool. And then we've got a hinge that's what we might see on like the excuse me,
Cowling.
the cowling, or
Or a control surface.
control surface as well. We've got just a basic piece of aluminum here, which
Might be like a
strangely
wing
enough,
cover or something. Yeah.
strangely enough, most of the plane is made out of. And we've got Clecos, and we've got Cleco clamps and Cleco pliers. And then if we can, we'd like to show you
please do.
how to use it. So what we'll do first is we'll clamp the hinge to the.
Should we hold it up a little bit? Yeah.
We'll clamp the hinge to the sheet of aluminum here with some Cleco clamps. Ooh. There we go. Make sure it's square on there as well. And then we'll flip it over, and then we'll match drill a hole. I want to make sure the
Is it
looks
a
like it's
bent,
bent,
is it
yeah.
a bent drill bit?
Well, anyway,
right,
the drill
Okay,
is bent.
we won't drill a hole.
Check that. We won't drill a hole. Just pretend that we did,
Imagine a hole.
if you will. So we would drill the holes, and then we'd take it apart, and we'd deburr it using this dog leg, and then after that, we'll put one of these clecos in the hole to secure the hole.
Well, you got
and
an
then-
empty hole there. Show them how to get that cleco will go in that hole.
Right. Try not to make too much noise.
Oh, it's okay. I've scared you off with it.
And then we'll just put it in the hand right there.
Now, what does a cleco do? I mean, I've seen these as I've walked into, like Texas Colt out of Hondo. I've seen them. I see other people with all these things sticking out of the air. What does that do?
This is a temporary fastener. When you drill a hole through these two pieces of material here, you can take this temporary fastener and put it in there, and it'll hold those two pieces together. And typically, what we'll do is we'll cleco every other hole to hold it in place and then drill the hole thereafter. Actually, we'll start out with a smaller hole and then drill it up. Keeps everything real tight, and then take it apart, because when you drill a hole, you'll end up with a burr, just by the nature of drilling it out, and that's why they want to clean that out, because you want the pieces of material flush. And so taking those burrs off will make that surface flush, and when you go to rivet it, it's bonded together real tight.
So the clecos are just temporary things until you can get in there and rivet.
It's just a temporary fastener, just like that clamp is holding those pieces of material together.
All right, very cool. So now let me ask, how can a student that may be at Granbury, how do they get into this program?
Yeah, I had the same question once I heard about it. I was in the office one day and I saw it in the magazine, and I had no idea that we actually had the program. And I saw it and I was like, how can I get into this? I loved aircraft since I was a kid, and I just wanted to be a part of something as great as this. And the process that we have is you have to be in the engineering program for, I believe it's
2 years.
2 years. 2
Wow.
years, so you can get in as early as your junior year. And then you can stay in it and come back as a student mentor.
Wow. Do you get a lot of students who want in? Do you have a waiting list?
Each year, we're full to capacity each year. Yeah, once the students come through their freshman and sophomore engineering classes, when they become a junior, they have a choice of either taking aerospace engineering or civil engineering. And so, yeah, we are maxed out every year.
Yeah, well, we all know airplanes are cool. Civil
Absolutely.
engineering, who wants to build roads and bridges and buildings? Forget that. Stick to the airplanes.
I've often told them that I wouldn't have held the grade point average to be in that class, and now
really?
now I'm teaching it.
Well, education was a lot different in those days. So, okay, and then, Mark, for you, if somebody wanted to mentor, how do they get involved in the program?
It's typically word of mouth. We've got a whole lot of mentors, and we've got them furloughed kind of right now. They really want to come in there and work with the students. And what happens is, once you build all these sub-assemblies, you end up working at the same place, and you can only have so many people in the same area at the same time.
So 40 mentors and 20 students, probably not a good ratio.
No, well, we've had that before. We've had one-to-one early on with the students, but that's right. And after once you've built 3 of these airplanes, you get pretty good at okay, this needs to happen with this number of students, and it's just phenomenal the way that you see these things progress, year after year, after you've had an opportunity to do this thing for 4 years. But I would encourage mentoring in these opportunities like this. Yes. So.
Okay, well then, for maybe, since there's only 5 high schools across the country doing this, at least do Eagles Nest, there may be other organizations maybe. How would somebody go about, and either Mark answer this, how would somebody go about maybe trying to get this program started at their high school?
this would be something that Mark could know more about.
Yeah, so matter of fact, I had a gentleman from another part of the state call me yesterday. He sent me an email, and we talked yesterday with the very same question. What are a few ways, if the school district is at a point financially where they can invest into their own kit, then great, more power to them. Not too many districts in the state have that ability. Otherwise, they would need to find one of, there are a handful of organizations similar to Eagles Nest, or they could contact Eagles Nest directly, look them up online and ask for their assistance. And so, I'm sure with each of these organizations, they're probably can only handle so many schools at one time for financial reasons and for supervisory reasons as well. But yes.
And so over the course of the program you've had at Granbury, you guys have built three?
Correct.
Three RV-12s?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then I guess my last question is, who in the world gets to do that first flight in the RV-12?
Me and whichever student has the lowest GPA.
Lowest? Well, that would be Mark.
No, the president of Eagles Nest comes up to take the first flight.
They paid for the plane, so.
So they'll come up, and he's flown enough. This is, I think, they've probably had about 25 of them built through Eagles Nest now. And so with that much experience, he comes up and flies for the first several hours to go through all the checklists and for safety reasons. Once that's done, then the students start lining up with their hands raised. I want to be next. So
It's really interesting. This is a ELSA category airplane, experimental light sport aircraft. It is built per instructions, line item by line item, and this is another reason why this airplane is built in this capacity, is because it's it's like a paint by number airplane. So you go down each step and you check those steps off as you go, and first thing you know, you've got a rudder or a vertical stabilizer. These parts are built by number, and so it works real good in learning how to follow directions. But when you get this airplane complete, because you have built it per the manufacturer's instructions, you don't have to do a 40-hour flying test. It just requires 5 hours of testing. So that's what we're looking to do, possibly as early as next Friday, fly our second airplane, and you'll have to come out and take a ride.
I would like that. We'll put the GoPros on there and make it a
There you
taking
go.
off episode.
There we go.
What happens to the airplanes after they're all done? They stay at the school?
What
Fly to football games?
in a perfect world, what happens is the school gets 2 airplanes. Okay, so you build the first one. It goes to the hangar. The students get to fly it and get their light sport certificate. And the next year, we're building the other airplane. So then the first airplane is sold to fund the third one.
Ah, okay, and so it becomes self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So a program, they get their start, they just need 2 airplanes, get their start, and then they're able to keep the program going.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we need more of that.
We need somebody to buy an airplane.
I would think that would not be hard to sell, especially when the word gets out of what kind of program it was and everything else.
These are brand-new airplanes. They've got a full glass panel and an altitude pre-select autopilot with flight director. I mean,
You should fly these to Osh.
Yeah.
Have them do the
Yeah.
fiscal rival. Just program it in.
We do.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I really appreciate you all coming out to share this program. I had no clue that this was available at a high school. That just blows my mind.
We're very fortunate. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Mark,
Dan,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Hunter.
Thank you.
Cash. Mark Zimmerman, thanks again. Appreciate you guys coming. Okay, well, there you have it. Go out there. If your high school nearby doesn't have one of these programs, well, you can go and do something about it. Contact Eagles Nest or another organization that can help at least get that foothold into the program so that it can become self-sustaining and we can pass on aviation to the next generation. We'll see you next time in the hangar.